welcome to the Rocket Review. I'm hanging out with the incredible guitar virtuoso, JD Simo. JD, thanks for coming and hanging out, man.
Well, thanks for having me again,
Good to see you, brother.
Appreciate you.
I love the new album, and this
Thank
is
you.
your debut solo album.
Yeah, first one without the band. Yeah.
You know, you've been coming on the show for a long time now, but and all joking aside, I think this is some of your best work, given a nod to, you know, some of the blues kings and even Jimi Hendrix and Santana that influenced you with Off at 11.
Well, thank you. I had a really good time making it. I mean, it was you know, I came off the road from doing a solo tour with Tommy Emmanuel last year in January.
Right.
And I just built an old funky studio in my basement, and I started inviting friends over to cut either stuff I'd written or old, like Magic Sam and Earl Hooker and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so I'd cut a ton of that.
Right.
And then I went off and did my first show with Phil Lesh, which we're getting ready here in May to do some more stuff.
Wow.
Together. And I really had a great time getting freaky with him. So I said to him in passing, I said, man, you know, I just made this old school record, but I really love what we just did too, you know.
Right.
And he's like, well, you know, you can do both. And so I sort of went home from after that tour, and I went home last summer and cut a couple of songs that had never made it on records with the band that were freakier, and just kind of made a record out of what I thought fit with that, and now, you know, I've got a whole bunch of stuff I want to get to, and
that is so amazing.
It's real fun.
Well, and I think it's so great too that you're still doing stuff with Tommy Emmanuel, and obviously with Phil Lesh, like we were talking about. But also you've got some other things coming up with the Almond Betts.
Yeah, we're doing a whole long tour together. Me with my band.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to meeting him. I haven't met him yet. We'll meet in a couple weeks in Mississippi. Our first show's in Mississippi. So
you know, it's so much fun keeping up with you too, JD, and the evolution of Red, your number one guitar.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, from the first Rockin' Review you came on years ago,
yeah,
she looked a little different.
She did look a little different. She's been through quite a bit. I mean, you know, there's a lot of wear on the back, and you know, got that from when I was with Phil, and you know, got Jessica Rabbit, so when I play behind my head, she's sitting on my shoulder.
There you go.
You know,
but you know what? She keeps sounding better.
She is, man. She's hanging in there. You know, she's hanging in there. A good piece of wood. You know.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know, and I know you've got some other big things coming up with music gear, with possibly guitars and other accessories and products, and other big things. Here's the question I think viewers want to know. Is Kermit the Frog still involved with the tour and in your studio?
Absolutely. It's funny because now people, I guess enough people had seen pictures of Kermit behind me, and so people have started giving them to me. So I've got tons. I've got tons now. So they're all over the place.
Now, is this going to be also like a collection for your daughter then one day?
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because actually it's great because I have this stuffed Jerry Garcia doll that I got when I was playing with Phil.
Yeah.
And so that has become my daughter's now. And,
man, you were starting her out right.
I am, yeah.
And she and your wife still come out on tour with you some too.
They do, yeah. No, they came up for the first time in the January, February was the first U.S. tour this year, and so it was my little 4-month-old daughter's first trip out.
Wow.
And it was really fun. And this next tour that's getting ready to start, they'll be out at least once or twice.
Good.
Yeah.
So is this going to turn into like a world tour also? Because obviously, you know, a brand new direction for you, you know, as JD Simo.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just got back from Europe.
Right.
It's mostly the rest of the U.S. Going into the fall.
Gotcha.
And then we're going back, and then we're going back to Europe in the fall.
Awesome.
And then, more, it's just, you know, 200 days a year for me.
Well, now, what's it like also, I got to know, because I love the videos that you and Tommy did last year.
Oh, thanks.
Where you're having fun and everything. Like, what's it like touring with Tommy Emmanuel on the road as well? And also, different for you because you bring in the electric guitar aspect, and obviously Tommy playing his Maitons more acoustic.
Yeah, no, it's a really, it's a reprieve for me because when I go out with Tommy I open the show and then we do stuff together.
Right.
You know, I approach it very much almost as if I'm still playing with the band.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've sort of found a way to make that work, and it's great. It's a lot of fun because I do different types of material and do stuff way different, obviously, in that. And after a while, I start missing the band.
Right.
But it's great because it's a nice little break. But with Tommy, what's it like traveling with him? It's first of all, it's an honor to be around such an amazing musician. And it's there's a lot of laughing, it's a lot of fun, but it's also, man, and I mean this as a compliment, like, right. It's easy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Tommy, there's no stress with him. He rolls up to play these huge venues with, a couple of guitar cases and a little Pelican with his. And that's the whole show. Right. And it's like load-ins are like 10 minutes.
But
sound checks are 10 minutes.
Because you've got the new you got your Alamo amplifier now.
Well, yeah, I've got the little Alamo, but for the dressing room at least. But it's really a lot of fun, and I'm grateful to get to do it a couple times a year. And
yeah, I think it's a good fit. Well, and I wanted to ask you also, because I know that in the past you've always taken a record player with you, and you wrote an article for the Vinyl District.
Yeah, I did. That was a lot of fun. I was happy to get asked to do that. And
this album will be coming out on vinyl as
Yeah,
well.
they'll be actually the next couple of days. Getting the first shipment. It's officially coming out in May. But
now, are you still taking a record player on the road with you?
I didn't this past one because I couldn't take one to Europe.
Right.
But no, this next tour, because we're going to a lot of the cities that have record stores that I love. So.
Yeah.
No, I'll have.
So when you buy them on the road, do you just ship them back home then?
No. Because we drive.
Right. Okay.
So it's easy in America because I just throw them in the van. You know? But I listen to them, and then overseas it's hard because then I'm confined to a suitcase. And weight restrictions.
Well, and I had to bring up too, from the inside of the new album, Off at 11, I love your use of this vintage EV microphone in here. And you were taking two of these on the road with you.
Yeah, I've got, in my studio, it's all funky old stuff, and I like old stuff that's cheap. Because it's because there's a lot of old stuff that's expensive because somebody famous used them. Right. So old EVs, there aren't pictures of Frank Sinatra with it right here or Elvis. Right. So I carry a couple of those.
You can hammer nails with those.
You can.
You and I were talking. It's like there's such a heavy piece of chrome. You could clear a stage.
Absolutely.
If you did, like a Who with them, like a Roger Daltrey.
Oh no, you take somebody out quick with that. That thing weighs like 20 pounds.
But you said you also love it because when you get into it, it distorts with you.
Yeah, no, the reason I use the 636 in particular is because when you lean into it, it distorts. Meaning when you sing louder. When the signal gets louder, it distorts naturally, which before I used to have like a little thing that lived at front of house, which was like a parallel overdrive thing, and it was so complicated. Now I just use that mic.
You were having to science it up to get the same effect.
Exactly. So I just use the $100 60-year-old mic.
I love that. Well, I want to bring up too, where's the best place for our viewers to keep up with your tour, to get the album, to get the CD, everything?
Well, the jdsimo.net, but the social platforms are the easiest because they're updated every day. So, JD Simo Music, which is, Instagram, Twitter, the Facebook fan page, and the YouTube channel, which stuff is updated almost every week. And you can get the record at Amazon or obviously iTunes, or there's a whole bunch of record stores that are carrying it here in America.
Will you be doing some record store maybe stop-offs and everything, some meet and greets?
I am. There's some coming up. And
maybe
then, of course,
maybe another article.
Maybe. You never know. And then, of course, Spotify and Apple Music, you can stream the record on there.
Well, and it's not bad either when iHeart has you, emceeing and kind of headlining stuff at a show also, right? Yeah, no, absolutely. They've been really good to us. And, the iHeart people have been good to us. And Sirius has been really good to us, too. And us, me and my committee in my head. Us. Why do artists always do that? Well, because you got a band. Well, I know, but it sounds, I don't know, it just always ends up sounding weird. So I caught myself, me and the voices in my head, they're being good to us. As long as they keep telling you to make great music, I'm all on board, man. I can't wait to get the vinyl of this also. Me too. I'm excited about it because I put a lot of work
into it. It's had it's a different mix, it's a different mastering. There's a specific person here in Nashville that I wanted to cut the lacquer.
Yeah.
And
took 5 months in the making.
I'm very, very happy with it because we've always done vinyl versions of stuff.
Right. I've got the first one you gave me the first time you came on the show, a little 45.
Which is a Bob Irwin Sundays, which is really good and really rare now. But no, I'm really happy with the way this turned out because I was able to see it through all the way to completion.
Well, and I can't wait to get the coloring sheet for this also, so I can. My daughter and I, please do.
I'll send it to you with the blotter art.
Well, I'll tell you what, and my favorite track's off here. It's off at 11, but be sure and take a listen to Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights, and also Sweet Little Angel, of course. But every track on here is great, JD.
Thank you.
And what a testament, and also to remember Ed King in such a special way, your dear friend that passed away last year.
Yeah.
And Ed's so well known for, Sweet Home Alabama, everything he did with Leonard Skinner, but also just a great guy and guitarist,
Yeah, I mean, our relationship was interesting because we got really close. He was definitely like a father figure to me. We used to get together all the time and smoke cigars and hang out. And yeah, I was never really the biggest Skynyrd fan, to be honest with you.
Right.
And then I became friends with him. And then I became much more so because I think I always kind of viewed the band as like what came later. Mm-hmm. And like, because I was born in the 80s. Right. So like, the only version of the band I ever knew was the 90s reunion version.
Wasn't the
which
originals.
Is nothing, which is no knock against them. It's just I never really was that, obsessed with it. But when I got close to Ed, and Ed told me all, every story. I mean, I'm glad that there's a book actually in the works that he was working on when he passed away, and I'm glad because I heard so many stories that about everything.
Right.
And then I'd go back and listen to the first, 4 or 5 records, and I listened to them differently because I have his stories in mind.
Right.
And man, what a great band they were! And Ronnie Van Zant was a hell of a writer. Mm-hmm. I miss him a lot. He was a good man, and we were real close. And I miss him, especially when I come home from tour like this because I'd be gone for months and months, and then I'd come home and be like, hey man, you want to get together tomorrow or the next day or whatever, and
right.
And it's just really strange to come home and not, because that was part of my routine.
Right. Well, and I think it's an incredible testament that you did this album, and obviously, with it dedicated to Ed, and that you're keeping music alive and you keep playing and keep taking it further.
Hey man, every day that I don't have to pick up a shovel is a good day, and I'm grateful. I started playing in bars and stuff when I was 9, and I just can't believe that I've never had to have a job. All I've ever done is play guitar, and I don't come from money, so I'm real. Every day that goes by that I don't have to, pick up a shovel or put on a pair of overalls or break a sweat unless I'm under lights playing guitar.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Well, and I think it also speaks to how incredibly, you play the music, the songs you write, and how devoted you are to the music too, JD.
Well, I appreciate all that, but I just, I just do one day at a time and try and have a good time.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to have a good time when you get off at 11. Be sure and get JD Simo's brand new album and check him out on tour, whether it's, with just JD Simo the band, Tommy Emmanuel, Phil Lesh, Almond Betts, you name it. He will be on the road, and check him out on jdsimo.net to find out where.
That's it.
Thanks for watching The Rockin' Review.